welcome everybody.
To the Saturday chat. Dave,
I'm still wearing my hat with sticker on it.
Yeah, I think that's the style. This is very Minnie Pearl of you. Does anybody even know who Minnie Pearl is anymore?
I don't know.
You know who Minnie Pearl is?
No idea.
Yes, you do.
Nope, never heard of her.
You know who Minnie Pearl is. Come on.
Do you know who Ray Charles is, though?
Yeah.
Do you know who Ray Charles is?
I do. Do you know that he wasn't the one who wrote this song?
I do. You know who it was?
Yep.
He's named after a sandwich.
Actually, no. He wrote the music.
Hoagie Carmichael.
Hoagie Carmichael. He wrote the music, but he had a friend in college, Stuart.
And to be clear, we're talking about
Georgia on My
Mind,
yes.
which is tomorrow's Sunday shout out.
Now I can't remember his last name. It's like Garrell. Stuart Garrell, I believe. So here come Hoagie with his melody, and his friend stayed up all night with him to write the lyrics and to Georgia on My Mind. Huge hit over the years, standard.
I've never heard his version.
Get this, though. He went on to be a banker and never wrote another lyric in his whole life.
Really?
Yep. It's the one. He said, I'm...
One and done.
Yeah.
I'm out.
I'm going to quit while I'm ahead.
Didn't like it.
Literally.
Didn't like it very much.
I don't know. I mean, maybe he thought it was just a college thing. And I wonder at the time, because it was 1930. So it was the Depression, the Great Depression, on the heels of Prohibition. And he was in college. So I wonder at what the outlook of the life of a musician was at the time.
Probably the same as it is today. You can't make it as a musician. You're just going to be a failure. You're going to live in your mom's basement. It's, all the things that we put up with as musicians. He'll get over it. It's just a phase.
Yeah, well, he wrote a timeless classic.
Can't get over how many Christmas movies I've seen this year when they're like, oh yeah, back when I was in a band, or back when I used to tour. I'm like, wow, the slander towards musician is cringy.
It is super cringy.
Musicianism.
Well, for those of you who haven't been sitting in our living room with us while we've been wrapping presents and doing social media posts and things like that, we watch cheesy Christmas movies, and cheesier the better. So
a friend of mine said, before we get too far into this chat, he said, I always wonder what's in those cups.
Oh.
So this week we got
coffee.
Pumpkin Spice Latte, homemade by Ashley Beth.
Yeah.
And we got these store-bought Oreo vanilla fudge covered chocolate Oreos.
This is a tradition that my dad gives us every Thanksgiving. We get a box of their
devilishly.
They're good. They're really good. They're very sweet, though. If you think a regular Oreo cookie is sweet, these are double that.
It's like a slice of pie and a cookie sauce.
It is. It's very nice. But it cancels out the sweet. I didn't think ahead. The cookie cancels out the sweet that is in the coffee, because I usually really enjoy just a cup of black coffee. That's my go-to.
Me too.
But when there is pumpkin spice creamer, that's like actual creamer in the store, and our daughter bought us a super fancy coffee maker that will foam up the milk for us. Like,
I just like to be like my hero, so I drink what you drink.
You're so sweet. So, Georgia on My Mind.
Georgia on My Mind. Number
Ray
one
Charles.
hit for Ray Charles. And you know who else? Although...
in 1979, my birth year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you know who else?
Who?
Well, you know who had a number one hit. What are you going to say? In 1979. Who was it?
Go on.
In 1979, it was a number one country hit on the country Billboard. Number one, but it only made it in the I think maybe like 68 or 86 in all of Billboard. Willie Nelson, which I would say is the second most popular version, although even Ella Fitzgerald has covered the song.
And Peggy Lee has. So many people have covered the song.
I would say by far my favorite. I mean, Willie does a great version. He does a really great version. I love when Willie sings ballads. I love it because he's just Willie Nelson, But by far my favorite is Ray Charles. Like, I've heard so many covers, and I'm just like, what?
I thought it was his to begin with. I thought it was his song.
And in fact, I think I have even posted it as Ray Charles because, I mean, when you hear the song,
his is the quintessential version.
It's like saying Black Magic Woman is not by Santana. It's
I know.
Like,
he didn't write it, but he made it his own so much.
So, to me, this is actually not only the quintessential version it's also one of the quintessential Charles songs. It's like if I think of Ray Charles, I think of this song. Well, maybe What Did I Say? What Did I Say? You know,
didn't they feature it pretty heavily in the movie Ray? Also,
it's been a while since I've seen that, but Jamie Foxx did a great representation of Ray Charles.
And wasn't there some sort of? No, I did not research this, but I have in my memory, which is known to trick me sometimes. There was some sort of kerfuffle between Ray Charles and Georgia, the state, like he couldn't go play there or something. Wasn't there something that happened?
You might be, I know that, I don't know.
Was it Ray Charles? I don't know. I'm going to have to go research.
Happened with other people. Like Georgia has been a little controversial when it comes to...
It's just kicking people out.
Like racial issues and things like that. But
so you can't go to here.
So
you and your music.
Yeah, the song, as far as the instrumentation, first of all, and it has that early production where it has strings and all that stuff, so it's very orchestrated.
That's really beautiful, I think.
And Hoagie Carmichael, man, he did a number on those chords. There's so many chords in this song. It's like, it seems like one of our songs, like off our first album, like Happiness Falls, or
all the chords.
Didn't I don't have to explain myself, where it's like chords just keep changing and changing and changing. It's like, if you're doing it in a series like we're doing, where you learn a song each week, and maybe you're learning it the day before because sometimes, holidays.
Yeah.
It can be a real challenge to try to remember all those chords, and get through it in one go, like we do, because we're committed to an authentic one-off representation of how it feels.
It's not always the first take, and a lot of times because of digital issues, a lot of
times
the camera wasn't running.
In the past, we have had multiple takes, especially. I mean, I remember one time where the camera failed. It didn't. It ran out of memory card. And then the battery died, and then the program
crashed.
Didn't have enough memory. Then the battery went down on the phone, and it was just kind of like a program crashed. And it was like, man, there was one time it was like Ghost in the Machine. I think
it became so frustrating.
An hour, of just.
It had nothing to do
issues.
with us.
Yeah,
it wasn't us. It was all technical
there was
issues.
Another one where it was a pretty popular one. It was the Rain song. I think we did 2 takes of that one. And the first take we thought was perfect. And then we went to listen to it and it wasn't there.
There was nothing there.
There was nothing. It was just silence.
There was nothing. That was a little heartbreaking because
that was. And then to try to take on that song a second time, it was very daunting.
Especially knowing that you had
already done it.
You did it. You did it before. Yeah, that's that. So there have been some heartbreaking retakes of songs.
So I will say, taking on this song, the outro is so orchestrated, like the tag. There's so much movement in the chords.
You ready? Okay.
It's crazy. I almost second guess my arrangement now, but because I did stick a lot to the Ray Charles version for the outro, but I also tried to pull in the chorus or bridge, I guess, part.
I don't know what you would call. I would call it a bridge just because it's so different, but it is a chorus.
When you think of the song, you don't think of that part of the song. And I
didn't.
had never noticed the direct. Like Peter Gunn type of feel that it had going on.
It feels Christmassy to me, actually. The progression, like the melody of it with the chords, like the interplay between them seems like almost I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas. Kind of that interplay between them. It reminded me of a Christmas song.
Well, listening to the string part where it has the ascending and descending, it was like I couldn't not play that.
Yeah,
I couldn't just play the chords.
It stuck.
I couldn't just play the chords behind it. I had to incorporate that. It's a big part of the song.
Well, it's a little haunting, and I think it really does lend itself to the melancholy of the lyrics.
I think it's beautiful. I still don't understand exactly how it gets there. Like, I can see it on paper, and I can hear it, and every time I get to that part, going into it, and coming out of it, I'm like, this isn't going on.
I'll say it's the same for me with the melody. It was rote memorization for me. It was just listening and singing along with it over and over and over again. It was
literally like, this doesn't work. But then every time it's like, oh, no, it does.
Yeah.
But
there's not a lot of wiggle room
in a way,
to change it.
In a way that I think it works because of the, almost like, not the juju, but the soul and the confidence going into it. Like if you come into it kind of timid,
Didn't work. Yep.
Plane crash.
Yep.
You just got to go.
You just got to do
Boom.
it.
You got to hit that chorus and mean it.
Yep. I agree.
And you got to commit. Like, not committing to it, and it's like, okay, what's happening here?
So, like, think of this. So, it was written in 1930, right?
Yeah.
This song is 95 years old.
Oh, my Lord.
Hey, friends, go to SugarLimeBlue.com right now to get your hat and t-shirt and our new Roots guitar logo. See you there. It's almost 100 years old.
Shh.
I know.
Shut your front door. What are you talking about?
That's wild.
Oh, my gosh.
That's wild to think about. Time really flies. It really does. And here we are at another Christmas.
And to write a song like this, Hoagie Carmichael and others. I'm going to keep saying Hoagie Carmichael as many times as I can because, like...
Garreau. Stuart Garreau.
Who gets named after a sandwich?
I think it might have been the other way.
I'm just kidding. Anyhow, to write a song that people 100 years later... Like, our daughter knows this song.
I know. Well, I
it's
think...
not just like an old... maybe it's an old people song, but, like, my grandmother would have known this song.
Yes.
My grandchildren would probably know this song.
So this is one of the songs. Part of the reason we picked it up for this week in particular, there's twofold for me, but one of the main reasons is because in the question that we posed last week about the songs that give you the hair, hair standing up on the back of your neck in the good way. Thank you
for reminding us, Tupac.
Thank you, and Clifford. Like several people actually noted this particular song.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I didn't see the second notation.
Yes.
But I did know that we have talked about the song off and on for at least 5 years doing the song, probably longer.
So, since it was 90 years old?
Yeah. We were getting in on it early.
So, the second part of that is generally at Christmas time, we go to my mom's house in Georgia.
We do.
For Christmas, but our lives, as they ever do, are changing and shifting, and we have become empty nesters this last year, and our daughter and her boyfriend are not able to get away to go to there. So my mom's coming here instead, but that doesn't mean that I'm not thinking about all of the really good things that we did over the years, the traditions that we are now having to shift around a little bit to accommodate everybody's, the young folks in our lives.
I thought it tied in really well because there are a lot of people that are thinking about other places that they can't be with the ones they love.
Well, I mean, your family's in Maine, and my family's spread out between Kentucky and Georgia, and we have people all over the place that we want to be with. It's hard to get with.
I think the song expresses the feeling well of just wishing your circumstances were changed. It's not always about the space that you're in, but a lot of times when you wish your circumstances to be different, and let's admit it, like, this Christmas, there's a lot of unrest for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I remember when, we had first met and we wanted our situations to be different, each of us. We were looking for different situations. We used to joke about just moving to Mexico.
Yeah.
So it has that tie-in for those people that feel like maybe you don't belong somewhere or there's someplace better for you. That longing that's associated with it.
Or a place that you just keep dreaming of.
Right.
You're dreaming about a different
it really conveys
thing.
that feeling of longing well.
Yeah, I agree.
Longing to be somewhere else.
I agree. Especially, to me, like, listening to it, I mean, obviously our experience informs the way that we look at story.
Absolutely.
Right? So for me, when I look at this story, it is conjuring up the memory of being in Georgia specifically, or the Christmases that I spent with all the family spread out all over the place between Texas and Kentucky and up in Maine with your folks and in New Jersey with us and our friends when we were first married. It just conjures up all those memories of the places that we were, and those Christmas time, I feel like, pulls in a lot of warmth into our memory. Like, even if there were harsh things that were going on, Christmas time adds a warm glow to it, and nostalgia speaking. So, like, thinking of the past Christmases that we've spent together, and this song, to me, it's a sweet memory. It's a really sweet memory. And though the song is not seasonal, it's not a Christmas song. I feel like it really kind of fits the mood of not being able to be everywhere all the time.
No, I agree. Like to me, it's a song about longing and fond memories and being places that you can't be. So
Yeah. So here's to fond memories and places that we are and places that we're going, places that we've been.
This week, make sure you let us know what you're drinking, what you fill your cup with. And let us know
Hopefully
what you think.
a lot of holiday cheer because it is Christmas this week.
Yeah.
It's Christmas week. So we wish you a very Merry Christmas.
Let us know what you think about the Sunday shout out. Let us know what you think about our chats and what directions we should head in the new year.
Yeah.
And
it's never too late to get your SLB merch. We got all kinds of really cool stuff, especially if you don't get what you wanted for Christmas.
If you don't get what you want for Christmas, make sure you get one of these
Come on over.
They're super nice.
Yeah, come on over.
I think I'm going to have to buy myself one.
I think you should. I think it's going to be that one.
I might send it out to somebody. You never know.
Well, if you do, you can sign it. How about that? Right? Worn on this shout out. This is a Georgia on my mind.
This is the third shout out that I've worn it for. I think. I have it up
yours.
here. We had it up here to display.
But we had this one. I brought this one up, and you already had that one.
So here we are. Display, and then it just keeps finding its way onto my head.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we have beanies and other hats too.
We do. But it's been a pleasure. It's going to be a pleasure tomorrow to perform Georgia on My Mind for you. And thank you for tuning in. As always, Merry Christmas.
We'll see you there. Merry Christmas.